Hi guys, so today I'm going to do like a different kind of vlog, just a talking one. So a lot of people in real life love asking me about dating and what dating's like for me and on the internet. But I think people think since I'm half Middle Eastern that I grew up really strict and they want to know about me sneaking out and doing all these things. And it wasn't like that, except like one time when I was like 17 and I ran away for like a whole day. That's like a whole different video. So we're just gonna talk about bad dates, and you can tell me about your bad dates. These won't be in any kind of order. Just going off the top of my head, all the lovely times I had with these gentlemen. So my first date was actually bad, not that good. I was 15. He was 19. I've always dated older. That was not the oldest. Like the biggest gap ever was I think 10 years. There was one that was like 9, but 10 was probably numero uno. So my first date, this is not the worst one, so it's kind of boring. Just wasn't what I thought. He was kind of weird. He was okay. He was kind of a douche, but we went to eat at a Mexican restaurant, and he just would like look at the chips, and if it wasn't like a perfect triangle, he would just throw them on the ground, and he just looked like a damn fool in front of everybody. So that's what made that date bad. And also made that guy bad was he kind of stopped talking to me after. We did go out again after, so I was 15. If it was bad, I didn't care. And he was like wanting me to do something to him on like the second time we hung out, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. And he called me up right after. He's like, I don't know if I can do this. So I was like, okay, whatever. So, it's kind of like that thing I always say, if you loan someone $20, you never see them again. It was probably worth it. That's how I look at that situation. Now let's see, my next bad date. It didn't start off bad. Started off like kind of good. We were cool talking as friends, but as soon as it could, like, I told him it could get romantic, it's like the switch went off in him. Like, it was like a whole different person. Because we went out, we had fun, and like we were enjoying the time. It wasn't spectacular, but we had an okay connection, like to see where it could go. Then he starts doing these like subtle hints. Like he's like, I love to watch you eat. And I'm like, cool, I like that too. And then we go to the movies, and he's being okay. Like he's kind of, I don't know, a little. And then he tells me he wants to name my stomach. This is the first like date. So if he had told me this like later on, I thought it was cute. And I was like, oh, well, I decided just to see what he would name my stomach. I was like, okay, well, if you were going to name it, like, what you gonna name it? And he said he would name it like Sheila. Then I just felt insulted because I don't like that name for my stomach. Then he started, like, we lived a little bit away. We still live in the same state and like within driving distance where it's not obnoxious. And he was like, you should move up here because I want you to be here. And I'm like, dude, we just went out one time, so I don't need to move up here yet. He went on to kind of, he started like here, and he kind of, this real quick, he started like texting me all these crazy things and like telling me the stuff he wants to like do to me. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have gone on a date with me if you don't want me to talk to you like this. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Next date that was bad. You know what? Oh, this is the worst, actually. Okay, this is the big one. So there was a little time in my life where someone was like, all the guys that you date from your circle, because I tend to, not anymore, kind of straight, but I used to date guys from like a certain scene, like the hardcore scene, or like, I guess the hardcore scene, we'll go with that. It sounds better. Like music scene, like the rock scene, whatever. And they would all be like friends, as bad as that sounds. Like everyone knew each other that I would talk to and date, and it was just bad. So someone was like, why don't you try internet dating? And this was my first time, so I was like, it can't hurt, but let's just try it. I didn't try Tinder. This was before Tinder and all that. I don't remember what I tried. I think it was like Plenty of Fish or something. So like, we'll try it. So this guy, first guy I just talked to, he's cool on the phone. He's very nice. I noticed a slight weirdness to him, but I like that. So I'm like, whatever, cool. So I'm like, I don't like to talk too long before I meet someone, because I feel like when you see someone you know, or like when you actually hang out, the chemistry is there and then you can continue. I don't like to just draw things out. So I'm like, let's just go hang out. So I don't want him to know where I live. So I'm like, let's just meet up somewhere. Then we can, meet each other wherever we want to go. So we meet up at the movie theater, and he's late by like, I don't know, he was like probably 20 minutes late. So I'm like, we need to watch a different movie because it's already started. Didn't really bother me. I see him get out. He looks nothing like his picture. Like in his picture, he looked like clean shaven. He did have a beard. He had reddish hair, because for some reason I just had like a thing for red hair for a span of time. Like I just wanted every ginger in the world. But when he got out the car, I was like, it was a van actually. He got out of the van. When he got out the van, I was like, I don't know who this is, but I felt bad because he looked nothing like what I was expecting. But I was like, I'll go on a date with him. It's fine. So I'm like, we're gonna go in the movie. So we're getting the tickets, and he starts telling me about the van because he wants to tell me about his van. And he said, well, it's my grandma's van. I don't have a car. So I'm like, I've dated a lot of guys who don't have cars, and I get it when it's like a situation you can't control, but some of these guys, like, they do it to themselves. Like, every guy I've dated, not everyone, like maybe besides 2, has some sort of like criminal record. So sometimes when they don't have a car, it was because they couldn't have a car because like jail stuff. So I'm like, so you guess you just don't have a car? It's like, yeah, I don't have the money for it. So I'm like, that's not that bad. If you don't have the money for it, as long as you're not like a felon, I don't care at this point, because I had been through all of that. So he tells me that, yeah, when my grandma dies, I'm gonna get everything, and I'm really excited for it. I'm like, he's killing off Granny already. He's just waiting for her to die. So we go in the movie. We're watching The Conjuring, the first one. And I look over and I like start smelling something. When I like met him, I kind of smelled something, but I wasn't that close to him. When you're in a movie theater, you're like sitting side by side, and I keep smelling cigarettes, like someone like just lit a cigarette. That's what the smell is. He smelled like an ashtray, and like, I don't know if he didn't think it through, if he was nervous, smoking on the way, but that wasn't that bad still. We're still okay. The grandma part was the worst part. Then he starts rocking in his chair, just like back and forth, and it's like very noticeable. It's not like a subtle like. He's like. Then I'm like, okay, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, I'm so nervous. I just want to talk to you. I'm like, well, the movie's on. There's people in here. We can't really talk right now. Maybe we shouldn't have done a movie first. He's like, I know. Let's just go. And I'm like, no. Then he starts like nudging me. And he's just acting really weird, and he's still like just back and forth. So then it starts raining so hard outside that I can hear it in the theater. So I'm like, oh God, it's raining outside. It's just all of this coming together. So he says a couple of weird things, and while we're in there, I can't remember exactly. It was just a very weird vibe. Like, I don't know who this is. I don't know who I was talking to on the phone. I don't know whose picture it was. Whatever. So we go outside. He's like, okay, are we going to go eat now? And I was like, I got to wake up in the morning. That was my excuse to get out of that. I said, I got to be up in the morning. I didn't say for what. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I had plenty of time to do anything, but I said, I got to be up in the morning. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and go. It's pouring down rain. I don't like to get my hair wet or anything. So usually I'm kind of prissy about that, but I ran straight damn through that rain to the car, and I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I gotta go home. So I go to leave, I'm waiting at a light, and I see him pull out, and I kind of know the direction where he would come from because he mentioned a spot where he's like somewhere near his house. So we would be going separate directions, but he goes my way. So I'm like, oh shit. So this goes on. He probably stays behind me for like 10 minutes and then just goes. So I don't know if he was just going somewhere. I was probably just tripping out because I'm like, I don't know who this is. I need to get the hell out of here. So that was not fun. Internet dating was not kind to me. Did not work out for me at all. So I kind of was like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Another bad date. Sometimes the bad dates were my fault, honestly. Like one time I went out with a guy and I did really like him. I thought he was super cute. He was super tall. Tattoos. He was just really cute. And I really don't have anything bad to say about this guy. It was really just, we wouldn't work anyway. But I asked him. He had like a mole. It was huge, but I kind of liked it. And it was on his arm. And so I asked him if I could name his mole. And then he just stopped talking to me. Until like months later, and I guess it just escaped his mind and he was cool with me now. So that one was probably my fault. I mean, okay. The first date with my current boyfriend was actually bad, but not because of him. I have to give a little backstory. So me and my current boyfriend, we've known each other since I was like, I met him when I was 12, 13, I don't know, 12, 13, young. So we reconnected and he was like, let's go out. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll go out. We'll have fun, he knows people, it was fun. So we're gonna go bar hopping. We're just gonna go to all these different bars, it's gonna be cool. And my sister lived in the same town with her then husband. So I'm like, you know what? She used to know him. Let's just all go out because I haven't seen him in a while. Just kind of make it less weird, I thought. So we go out to the first bar. We're having fun. My cousin ends up showing up. We're all having a good time. We're having shots, drinking, whatever, talking. I see my sister's friend come in, who is a girl, and I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to say names. Hello. I'm happy with that. I like her. Whatever. It's cool she's here. I don't know how she got here, who called her. So then I look over my shoulder again, and Satan himself has walked into the bar. I don't know how this dude knew I was in here. There was this guy. He was my sister's friend. He was low-key obsessed with me. He would just send me these weird messages and blow up my phone, call me, then tell people things about me, but then be like, I didn't say that, Amal. He lived 8 different lives, and he would say one thing and do another. Then he even got his mom to yell at me. I don't even know this lady. We did not date. We were not in a relationship. So as soon as I see this crazy ass dude walking, I'm like, this is gonna go bad. I'm never gonna talk to this guy again. He's not gonna want to hang out with me. But then I'm like, maybe I just, I don't want to explain to my boyfriend, well, to this guy who would become my boyfriend, who this guy is. Maybe it'll just all play out fine. I don't have to explain the situation. So he walks in. He's like, hey. I'm like, okay, what's up? I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna act like nothing is wrong. So I say hello. I'm like, how have you been? Keep it cordial. So I turn my attention back to the guy I'm out with. So the guy I'm out with has no idea who this guy is. So he's like, I'm gonna buy all y'all shots. So he buys everybody a shot. He buys me a shot, my family, and the guy that walked in, and my sister's friend. Which the guy that walked in is also my sister's friend. It's kind of hard to, without saying names, it gets so So buys everybody a shot. I'm like, that was nice. He still doesn't know who this guy is, but still nice. So we all take the shot. Then we'll call him Stalker Dude. Stalker Dude decides he's gonna also buy everybody shots. So I'm like, oh shit. He comes back with the shots, and he got everybody a shot except the guy who had just bought everybody shots that I was with. I'm like, okay, that's kind of shady. So then the guy I'm with asked me, he's like, what's this dude's problem? Because also while this is going on, the dude is throwing metal chairs because there's a patio outside. He's just slamming them on the fucking ground. I'm like, I gotta explain something to you. So I explained this guy has a thing for me. I don't know how he knew where I was. I did not invite him. I don't know who called his ass. I don't know. So I'm like, he's here. I'm sorry. We can leave. He's like, no, it's cool. So I go back up to the bar because I'm like, I'm kind of thirsty on something else. And guy I came in with was like, I'll get you a drink. So I'm like, okay. So then I turn my back, and stalker guy's like, let me buy you a drink. You should leave with me right now. We should go to a whole other bar, me and you. I'm like, no, I'm kind of here with this guy. And he just bought me a drink. He gets so pissed. He just starts like doing his angry little man march. So I'm like, okay, whatever. The mood kind of settles for a second. You can tell that it's just weird. So I asked my sister, I said, how the hell does your friend know where I'm at? Because this place is like brand new. Like, and I knew the kind of places my sister and her friends would go, and they would never go here. Like, they just wouldn't. So he wouldn't just randomly walk in here. She said, oh, well, he called me. And he said, what are you doing? And she said, I told him I was out with you, and we were drinking and having fun. And he was like, let me come. And I told him not to, but he insisted. So then I was like, you could have not told him where we were. You could have lied. So the whole night was made very uncomfortable by a little angry dude just being himself. So we decided to leave and go to another bar. And he follows us there. Like, he is just there with his little peering, squinty eyes. Just angry, like, And it makes things comfortable. So I'm like, let's just leave this place too. Like, we gotta go. So we leave, and the day turns good. Obviously turned good. We were still together from then. We pretty much have hung out since that day. So I guess it couldn't be necessarily a bad date. As far as other bad dates, let's see. I don't know. I mean, some of them weren't that bad. Like, people would say like little subtle things, and it would be like an alarm going off in my head. Like, one dude was like, yeah, I smoked meth, but it was only for a month. I decided it wasn't for me. So I was like, I didn't know meth was one of those things you try. And you're like, oh, it's not really for me. I don't know. It didn't really give me that. You're pretty much at the end when you try meth. Besides that, I've had a lot of first dates that weren't bad, but they just never went anywhere. Like, one guy, his mom was like on Cops, and he was like telling me about the episode she was on and what she was doing. And then he said that his grandfather was like this big evangelical pastor dude. I don't remember the guy's name, but apparently he was like this huge like pastor tycoon guy that just like had like a TV like station and all that. So I don't know, we weren't gonna work out, so we just kind of let that die. We knew. I mean, maybe his like Cops mom side we could have worked out, but the evangelical stuff probably would have butt heads. Let's see, another date. No real dates. I've had people try to talk to my sister and then talk to me, and like they just try to see which one will go for it. With both sisters, like they'll talk to me and then they'll try to talk to my older one or my younger one. They don't care. It's good old Alabama for you. It's very like incestuous in a way here. Everybody just dates everybody, and it's like all this like one little circle of people just like doing things, and it's all mixed together. He probably accidentally, well, like not accidentally, somehow made out with your next door neighbor's son's cousin. I don't know. Everybody just sleep with each other here. Like, I would go meet people when I was dating people, and they'd be like, yeah, this is my friend, blah, 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 blah. We used to touch each other's junk and dry hump, but it's cool now. Let's just all hang out and kumbaya around the fire. And I'm like, and all I'm sitting there thinking of is, I kind of wish you didn't tell me, because all I'm sitting there thinking about while we're, kumbaya by the fire is y'all making out on this couch, touching each other's genitals. That's all that was going through my head. So yeah, if I don't have to ever date again, like that kind of dating, the Alabama dating, I think I'd be more than okay with that for the rest of my life. So if you have any bad date stories. Maybe mine were not even that bad. I don't know. Going through them was enough, but yeah, probably sound pretty. Some people are gonna be like, you're so stuck up. But if you were there, you would be in the know. You would agree with me. It was a vibe thing for some of them. So let me know some of your funny date stories in the comments if you'd like. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.